welcome to this Zentangle Quickie. My name is Heather Hartwick Gladden. I'm a Certified Zentangle Teacher. And today we're going to take a look at the Tangle Pixioze from CZT Margaret Bremner. Now, I know this one has been around for a while, and I do like to have a mix of ones that are new and ones that are seasoned. And just because we always want to remember, I don't know, I always want to remember all of them, especially the good ones. This one I have honestly not played with before. I have seen it forever, and I decided, okay, it's time. That's been the theme, I think, lately. That all right, it's time. It's your turn now. All right, so this one is interesting, and if you have a challenge, as I generally have a challenge with uh, certain randomness, and this one, here's a thought. There's a tangle called Munchin, and I thought this was a great idea. And this is how they start that one. And this you could do too. It's just you don't necessarily. Well, no, you just don't want to put so many dots. But you could just take with your pencil, and even doing that. Oh, look I've made a die. I've made a 5. But you could do this where you just speckle very lightly with a pencil, and have that would be then become part of it. Kind of like doing a string. It's a dot string. But just to kind of, if it helps to free up the mind to be able to do these random things, then then give it a try. All right. And then too, if you do it lightly with the pencil, you don't have to use all of them if you don't want to. It just helps. All right, so I'm going to start with this one over here, and we're just going to start with little orbs. I don't want to put that one there because, well, no, I will put this one here. Oh, heck, what the heck? It's there. I'm going to make it a 5. Why fight it? All right. Then, this one makes it's similar to the Zentangle original Tangle says. Now I'm trying to remember, that one might start with a dot, and then you or around it, where this is starting with an orb. And so what we're going to do is we're just going to do 3 times around. This tangle, if you want to practice aura-ing, this is the tangle for you. So what are we doing? Original 1, 2, we'll do 3 around. And we'll do that on all of them. And knowing that, of course, it doesn't, perfection should not enter your brain. Just don't even worry about it. You're just making bigger circles orbs each time around. But I found that the slower that I go, the better it is. And also, like, I'm watching my pen. My eyes are on the pen tip and on the paper versus anywhere else, and that seems to also help. In my mind, I feel like you ever watch those shows where it's how to make something, and they're doing a close up of something, and it's just very very detailed, but it's close up on the action. And so in my mind, that's where I go, like, oh yeah, look at that pen, look at it, draw that line. Wait, I guess I can't do it if I laugh. I was starting to sound, all of a sudden I had visions of bowling. Bowling commentators. All right, anyway, but I think you get the idea. Just focus on your pen and what you're doing. Oh, and hey, you know what? If it cracks you up too, then great, because that's awesome. All right, next step is, and there's going to be a lot of alternating back and forth, but just this way you see what the first couple steps are. And where I have these little bumps, maybe, at least on this one, I'm going to start. We do these nice little, well, it's rather tall, but that's okay. And let's see, this one's going to go behind, so ignore that one. Let's do one that you can see. Oh, like right here. Just a curved line. Oh, hold on. Let me pause really quick. I didn't notice that my camera was getting dim because I wasn't looking at the screen. me move this. Maybe that will help. Okay. And so we're going to put these kind of leaf type shapes around. And like I said, and they can go behind things. So that's why one of the reasons I wanted to do a squiggly border, because I wanted to kind of work behind, because this is a beautiful filler. You don't have to put the leaf shapes on all of them if you don't want to, but if you want to, of course. And then, I know in the step out, and I think it was maybe to save some time, she also, placed some new orbs around. But I think I would, you could do it either way. Sometimes it's not a bad idea. But what we're going to do next is aura the inside of these leaf shapes. Although if you make one that you think is a little too small, can you aura it on the outside? Uh-huh. That's a nice course correction right there if you need to. And so we're just going to essentially be going back and forth. I find it nice. I do this with the Tangle print tops, and there's some other ones where I like to spread things out kind of sporadically like this, and then start there and then fill in after that. And that's what we're going to do. So with the dots that I just started, although I'm really feeling like there needs to be a leaf shape coming this way. So I'm doing it. So like I said, this one is nice because if you can get in the swing of the randomness of it, then it's fun. Or just maybe because we're filling it in, I personally find that it's like, okay, this is a good practice one for me, not just for the aura-ing, but to play with being random and just putting things wherever and really not worrying about it. And then we're gonna keep filling in underneath. Now the underneath ones, you can honestly, with any of them, you can have more than just say 3 auras. And if you take a look at the For More Inspiration link in the description section, that will take you to Margaret's blog where she was sharing this tangle, and she talks about that on there. I like how she talks through the tangle. I almost feel like I can hear her voice as I'm reading it. And actually this one, so if you get one here, it's like, oh, I don't know what I'm going to do here. I'm just going to take this one and make it a little bit bigger. This is kind of like my print humps trick. It's like, well, if I don't want to fill in the all of these lines, well, we'll just make it bigger and use the hollowbow technique, right, to go underneath. And she mentioned that in there, that some of the under ones can be a lot bigger. But like I said, it's a really neat, interesting filler tangle. And the thing that I find that I have to remind myself is add some leaf shapes in every so often. Like I think I'll do one right here, and mine are kind of going off the page, and that's okay. But it's neat having this other shape in there. It just adds some extra character, and then of course we will do some shading, which that will be amazing. Okay, let's do. Having some going behind, and then if you're doing this, with the hollowbow technique, you just have to still same thing, go slow, and think, okay, where is that tip going to be, so that way you can have the lines feel like they're extending underneath, as if you're drawing it and you're not. And what I have found easiest with like say I have all of these little areas is to do the orbs. And extend them with the hollowbow as big as you can. I was like, there, I can probably stop right there. Oh, and then I'll just put another one right here. Like I said, this just turns into a really interesting texture. That's what it does. And I don't have hers. A lot of times I'll have the tile on the screen. Actually, I'm going to put another one. Oh, I'm going to do one here. I want to add more leaf shapes because I feel like I'm a little heavy on the round shapes. So let's do this. There we go. Because I do remember, I thought I had seen like some little gaps, very little gaps. But like I said, just keep filling it in. Oh, look at what I did. Okay, there's no such thing as a mistake in Zentangle. Shh, don't tell anybody. Habits. Because I'm thinking of Printemps. So there, it's kind of like Where's Waldo? We'll call it Where's Printemps. Almost did it again. Deliberate strokes and the right ones. Let's see. Oh, you know what? Oh, I'll just do a circle here. And you could have more than one leaf shape coming off of the orb shapes too. By the way, I did notice that in hers. And speaking of that, let's do one here. Let's see, if I was doing, the rest is going to be behind there. Like that. And, gosh, I just have this little bit here. All right, let's see what we can do. And as you notice, I am taking my pen around as if I'm doing it because it helps. Woo! There we go. This one, for sure, every once in a while, take a eyeball break, take a hand stretch break, because when we're doing the same thing over and over again, there's no natural break. So make sure to, try to remind yourself. And you see how well I did that. Yeah. You try to do your best to remember to do that. That way your hand's not cramping up and your eyeballs aren't crossing. All right, let's do some shading. Now, the shading on this, I will do it just like I do Printemps. Or, actually even Halabau. So ones that are on top, and I'm picking the one in the center here, going around it. And you could just pick and choose some different ones that you want to highlight just to get the ball rolling. And let's do it over here. Really, it's the first ones that I did, because those are the ones that for sure are on top. Okay, let's do this one here. And I'm not bringing it out too far, just a little bit, just to soften it and make a little bit of a gradient. Look at how that just popped. And really, and depending on the size, I think I might have to do this one here, but let's get these ones done. Let's get these ones done that I did already. And then, stop, take a look. Yeah, it's like this definitely. I think that's one of the original. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is my challenge with randomness, is I don't want things to look contrived. And really, this is just me talking to me. I need to work at just not worrying about it. It just really doesn't matter type of thing. Isn't that neat? And I think I'm going to just, I'm always tempted to do the border. Oh, okay, I will. But even just looking at it like that, it's just neat. I'm going to do it to the outside though, because this is so small. But following my contour, I'm going just a little bit darker because I want to. And because I want to have that, I want it to look like it's punched out, or the way I think of it is wallpaper. You know, you've discovered wallpaper underneath something, and I just think it's really, really cool. It's like a hidden surprise. And doing something like this, if you, while you don't have to, it does kind of give a little bit of a finish to it. And if you're working on something maybe a little bit larger, you could go to the inside, and that creates a neat effect as well. But what a cool tangle. Now, if you enjoyed it, I would love it if you click the like button. And while you're at it, if you haven't subscribed yet, would love to have you be a subscriber to the channel. In the description section, I already mentioned links to the step outs. I always do a version of my own, and then link to the creator of the tangle. Gosh, that's cool. Then below that, ways to connect with me if you wish. I have a link to my website as well as my Facebook page. And actually, let's see. On my website, I have links to my Pinterest and Instagram, which I really need to work on being on more. But there's only so many hours in the day. But those links are there, so we can connect that way as well. If you happen to be on Facebook, would love to have you. Well, we'd love to have you be a part of our private group that we have on. There's a Tangle Addicts group. So if you'd love to hang out with a bunch of Tangle Addicts, absolutely beautiful people. We have a lot of fun, super supportive, and it is, like I said, it's just a lot of fun. We'd love to have you join us. So with that, thanks so much for watching, and I wish you happy